It is now time to explain to people just what's wrong with me. No, I'm just kidding. This is the Jimmy James Show. Welcome. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Jimmy James Show coming at ya. Basically, I wanted to talk about what legacies mean and a little bit of what's going on in the world. First and foremost, I'm sorry I have not been on. I have not podcasted, did any shows lately. I've been kind of busy with life, sitting around doing a lot of thinking, and that's what, pretty much gets me to do the show. I see I had a couple followers, which is, amazing. I really appreciate it. To anybody who followed me, favored me, or even, I would say, what's the what's the word out there? Supported me. I know it's any support helps. I mean, you could do $1 to $5 to $10. And look, I'm not on here to ask people for support with money. I'm literally on here to tell people that they need to support me because, it's the right thing to do. Anyway, I was a little ill prepared for this, but I wanted to, get some clarity out there on this legacy issue. It's been bothering me. I'm 38, 37, 38, I'm 20, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm 48, sometimes I feel like I'm 27. But, not to get off track, since the last time I talked to you guys, I was talking about smoking pot. Yay! Just doing all sorts of crazy shit. And, I just wanted to let you know that's not who I am. I'm not into, smoking pot like that. It's nice to do every once in a while, but it's not something that I recommend you doing just because you might hear somebody say, hey, I smoke, you want to smoke, and I'm pretty much trying to talk to the younger crowd out there. A lot of the people who listen to the show, which is quite a few, I honestly, I'm blown away with that. They're between the ages of, I think it was 27, in the graphic, 27, 25, 27 to 35, I'm sorry, or something in that ballpark. I don't know. People who probably have nothing really better to do but listen to me. So, with that being said, I would I pretty much want to get to that spot in life where why people have a feeling to leave a legacy. I'm not saying everybody does. I'm at that age where a legacy doesn't matter. And honestly, I thought about it a lot, and I said, what happens, when you die? I might get into that, in a different episode. I haven't been on. I wanted to apologize once again. I haven't been on for a couple months. Maybe somebody's riding to work or just sitting around being bored and they're just listening to this and they're just like, all right, well, you piqued my interest. What is a legacy worth? What does it mean? And not to get sidetracked, I feel like I wanted to do the show with more clarity on that. So the first part's going to be about, legacy, what we leave behind. Now, some people out there, like, let's say, the Seinfeld, I just recently seen him on Jimmy Fallon. Like Jerry Seinfeld, I mean, he was, he's one of the GOATs, stand-up comedian, he's one of the GOATs of all time. He's probably my top 5 for sure. I mean, Dave Chappelle, George Carlin, I mean, these guys are GOATs, hands down. And he actually just came out with a book. It is actually called Is This Anything? That's the the name of the book for anybody who's interested out there. So, what I was thinking of was, it just keeps, it's like everywhere I look, I keep seeing these things like, legacy. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, shit, like right at this moment, like, man, what do I have? And if you have, I'm not talking about your kids. Like, obviously your kids are your legacy. You're going to live on through your kids, regardless. And I was actually having a good conversation with my father. And I actually asked him, I said, I said, let me just ask you a question. I was thinking about a podcast. I haven't done one in a couple months. And I was asking my father, he's in his, mid 60s, 66, he's up there. So I asked him and I said, do you know your father's name? And he said, of course. And I know my grandfather's name. I said, do you know his father's name? He goes, yeah. And he's telling me that. I said, well, do you know his father's name? And he goes, and he was thinking, he's like, I don't remember. And I said, most fathers or mothers, it doesn't have to be, the man. Sorry if I sound like not too great today. I mean, I haven't been feeling well, and it's not because of the COVID-19. But every time everybody says, "Oh, I'm not feeling well," so you got the vid, you got the Rona. No, I just been feeling like shit because of the weather. It's just the constant changing. But he said to me, honestly, I don't know his name. And I said, well, what about your mother? Same thing. He can only remember back 2 to 3. Now, some people, and I'm saying doing this without looking up at one of those registries that will tell you your grandfather's name, your great-great-grandfather's name. I had the luxury of having my great-great-grandmother and my son. She was a great-great-great-grandmother. So I thought that, that she lived in 97. And I mean, he got to meet her in, she passed, God, it's years now, but, I mean, hopefully he remembered her, because there's not too many people who could say, I met my great. I mean, triple great is ridiculous. But most people can only remember 2. Some people can go 3, but 4 is extraordinary. Now 5, I dare you to ask anybody you know. I guarantee they won't get past 2 or 3. 3 is just amazing. 4 is extraordinary, and this is without, like I said, without the and. They don't have any Google up with the ancestry, whatever the hell the tree, the fucking branches, and it branches out, which actually I'm interested in looking at. I was thinking about doing that. I might actually talk about that another time. I was actually going to talk about it today, but I didn't have it set up, and it costs money, and I'm like, listen, I don't have that many followers that's contributing. I'm learning words today. Like I said, I'm not 100%, but I don't have that many followers that are like, I could just do that. I'm not a Bill Barr, I'm not a known stand-up comic. The most, anything I've ever done in my life was working down on Wildwood Boardwalk as the Dumb Clown, which I think I talked about that in one of my episodes. Which, there was like 1,500 people every like 15 minutes, and you just had to keep your material going. I had about 15-20 minutes of material, and like I'm not going to get into that, but so like what is a legacy? Like, what is a legacy? And like I said, excluding your kids, because even your kids, let's say Joe Schmo has a son named Joe Schmo the second, and then he has a Joe Schmo the third. He might be able to say, yeah, my grandfather was Joe Schmo the first, and I'm the seventh, and that's how he might remember. And that's kind of what I did with my family. My grandfather was senior, my dad was junior, I was the third, and my son was the fourth. And it's basically your first son. If you have a daughter first, that doesn't matter. But every son you would name the same name as you. And that's how you can kind of carry your name. And now, when my son, hopefully, if he has a son, he'll name him the fifth, which would be James Patrick O'Hara the fifth. And, and he could say, my grandfather was he was the third. And so on. And and another reason why I bring this up with this legacy thing is, like, I was watching a YouTube channel, and this guy comes on. He says, if you're depressed, watch this. It was like a 2-3 minute YouTube. Like I said, I got stuck down the YouTube rabbit hole. And he says, if you're depressed, and I wasn't depressed, but I wasn't, I just wasn't in the mood. I've been bored. I've been COVID up with everybody else, been stuck in the house for 9 months plus, can't really go out, can't go out and enjoy a couple drinks with my friends. I don't drink really much alcohol, but I can't go out and, have fun, maybe go to Dave & Buster's, go out to a party, because, COVID-19. But it's how am I getting at this? What I'm trying to say is, he made a video saying nothing matters. Whatever you think matters now, nothing matters, because everything goes by like that. And I mean, he means like, your life doesn't matter. And he's not trying to say that your life is not valuable, your life doesn't mean anything in that moment. But life in basically space-time goes by so quick that we are nothing. And, we're nothing. It's just that we're going to be here and gone so quick. And this is just, like I said, space-time. We've been around, the Earth has been the Earth has been around for billions of years, and the solar system has been around even longer. Now, we could see 13.8 billion light years away, but the planets, as far as the scientists estimate, that it's as much as like 48, 52, 50, it's either 52, 58 billion light years so far, because we're expanding as a universe. I don't know, I'm pretty sure, I think I did mention this, but like I study astronomy since I was 9 years old. I read a lot of books, and a book is where there's you gotta, like, there's paper, and you open it up, and there's a lot of words, and what you got to do is you take those words and you read it, and then you got to make, kind of like your own imagination up. And that's for anybody who's like under 20, who's like a book. And no, I'm not talking about like a book on like a Kindle or an iPad. I'm not, I'm not trying to be too funny today. I didn't come into this really well equipped or prepared. You know, I'm just wanted to talk a little bit about legacy that was bothering me. And, what is my legacy going to be? So I looked at it like this. I have a son, yeah, that's that. I mean, maybe when he has 4 children, 5 children, I'm going to be well forgotten. There's a couple famous quotes out there. You die 2 times in this life. Once when you're buried in the ground, or however it may you go out of this life. And the second time when you die is when the last person who knows you, or maybe one of your family members, utters your name or says your name for the last time. And that would be the second time you die. Actually, I got that one from my late grandfather too, which was James Patrick O'Hara Sr. We called him Scotty. His friends called him Scotty. He was a police officer for 35 years, detective. I talked about that a little bit. So anybody has thoughts out there, what do you think, other than, like I said about that YouTube channel? I wish I had that YouTube channel so I could tell you guys, but it's pretty interesting, because it looks like doom and gloom, but it's not. He brings up an interesting point. Like, we are here and then we're gone. I mean, the dinosaurs were here, the latest 175 million years ago. They're gone. They're extinct. They're gone. That's it. 175 million years is a long time. In the next, we're going to be running out of fossil fuels in the next 100 to max 150 years. What are we going to do? So what I'm asking you is email me. You can email me at JIMOHARA @gmail.com or at yahoo.com. Any subscription, or you could just send me a message. I'll listen. I listen to all my messages. Anybody has a question? Sometimes people just really don't say anything. And I know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and some podcasts have they just talk about sports, and they just talk about one thing, or it's maybe a gaming world. I am into everything. But today I wanted to talk about legacy. Legacy was my big key issue. So, with that being said, I wanted to hear your guys' point of view on what legacy means to you. Now, to give you just, I'm going to put maybe another minute and a half into this of what I think a legacy is basically being remembered for something, like Elon Musk. Now he's doing SpaceX, Space Force, or whatever. He wants to do the space race. Him and Jesus Christ, the other rich guy, Joe. Oh God, not Joe. John. I know his name. God, it just was. I was literally just reading up about him. His name's slipping my fucking deteriorating brain. But anyway, he's doing that. And I mean, let's say that takes off in 10, 15, 20 years. And, he passes in the next 30 to 60 or however long he has left to live. Hopefully a long time. This guy's going to be known for that. Just kind of like the Hubble space code. Even Jesus Christ. I mean, how many times a day do you say, Jesus Christ? I mean, his legacy is going to be probably until our extinction, which what I said about the fossil fuels, it's not looking too good. So, basically, I just want to get your guys' point of view on that. What do you think legacy is to you? I'm really open-minded about this. I want to be educated more on it. You know, I could go Google it and say, what's, you know, define legacy, and you know, and that's that. And, you know, like I said, that's it. I want to start with the legacy stuff. Next, we're going to get into the new president, Joe Biden. They call him Sleepy Joe. And now what? I'm not big on politics. I am not. I am glad there's another president. Or let me rephrase that. Like I said, I try to keep everything straight. I am really happy there's another president. I don't like Trump. I don't like Biden. I am not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I am not political. I am just for the man or the woman, whoever can get the job done to the best of their ability. So if I have a label behind that, then so be it. But basically, I don't know. I'm just getting sick of hearing Trump. I mean, this getting tweeted, that getting tweeted. You know, this is, you know, very nice, very beautiful. And, you know, I could do a better Trump impression. Like I said, I am not 100% today. And I apologize, but I had to come out with another podcast. Like I said, it's therapeutic. It helps me get by some of my days, you know, like sometimes you're just sitting here day in and day out, and I'm sure some of you can relate, even if you're working or you're not working, and you just want to, like, you know, say, screw it, you know, I'm sick of this guy. I don't want Joe Biden in there. I don't want this person in there. I don't want anybody in there. Some people think that we shouldn't have a president. Some people think we should have a king and a queen. I mean, I've heard different things, you know. Maybe there shouldn't be a 4-year term and then another 4-year term. Maybe we should. This is just my opinion. Why don't we just get a guy in there, and if he's doing a good job, he stays in there, kind of like a 10-year. You know, like he's doing a good job, he stays in there. I mean, there's no nukes being dropped. I mean, he's doing a pretty decent job. You know, I know everybody's not going to agree, but, you know, I mean, that's our country. You know, what's the word I'm looking for? We're democracy. Jeez, thanks. Democracy. You know, that's basically what it is. But why every 4 years? You know? I don't know. That's just my point of view. That could sound silly or stupid, you know. You might be like, all right, this, you know, he doesn't sound that intelligent, but I honestly wish I was not as smart as this is going to come out like condescending, like, I'm a smart guy. I'm not smart, okay? High school, yeah, I did good in high school. I barely went, but when I did go, I was an honor roll student. But I'm not bragging about that. It's fucking high school. I was actually forced to go. I got put away in juvie when I was young for not going to school. But I got put away with the people who were like actually did crimes. But in those days, back in the mid to early 90s, they didn't give a shit. So like I got put away for truancy. And some people were getting put away for, like, stealing a car, but, you know, they did a lot worse shit than that, but they just got caught for that one thing. And those were my juvie days. I got a buddy of mine. I'm just going to call him, Andy O. He knows who I'm talking to. He knows if he listens, he knows. I hope he is listening. He gave me the nickname Juvie Jim. Him and a couple other my buddies, you know, from Wildwood, New Jersey. We had a great time growing up, and I appreciate him. He just hit me up with a happy Thanksgiving. I haven't talked to him in a while. But anyway, I didn't want to get off. By the way, I hope everybody's doing good out there. Anybody who actually knew me or who knows me knows that, you know, I'm really trying to changed my life and turned my life around. And that was like, I stopped smoking pot. I was never really, like I said, I was never really big into pot. I actually just, I just wanted to like stop living the bullshit. You get to a certain age, I'm like hit 38. I'm just, you really do change. Like, I heard it from a couple people when I was younger. I was in my like mid 20s, late 20s, and they're like, when you hit like mid 30s, man, you really start thinking different. And I mean, I think that goes for anybody. And like I said, this gets back to the politics. Like, I'm not big on politics. Like, I watch John Oliver, I'll watch Bill Barr, or Bill Burr, or not Bill Barr, Bill Maher. I'm sorry, Bill Maher. And I know he's not a Democrat. He's a liberal, Bill Maher. John Oliver, I'm not sure what he is, but I think he's kind of neutral. But I'm not 100% sure on that. He could be Democrat. I have no idea. Maybe if somebody knows, they could be like, hey, Jimmy James, he's this and that. So what I want to get into is legacies. Talk to me about legacies. What do you think a legacy? What do you think a good legacy is? Doing something good for mankind, like maybe like a Neil Armstrong, first man to walk on the moon. I mean, he didn't do it by himself. There was 400,000 people plus involved in that. I mean, but we don't know their names. We maybe know a couple, but we don't. I guarantee nobody's going to know all without looking them up. But that's a legacy to me. You did something to better the human race, or even better your family. One more thing about my late grandfather. I had two grandfathers that I got to see grow old. One was two different backgrounds. The only thing similar, one was in the Korean War, one was a cop for 35 years, or detective for 35. I keep saying cop, but he was a detective mostly. Similar stories, but one was Italian, one was Irish. They had different views on the world, but the thing I wish as hitting this age, I wish I could talk to them now. Because when I was younger, I would have never thought of the questions I would think of now to ask them. Like, what do you think about this? Like, I mean, because I don't care who you are, how smart you think you are not going to be wisdom. I mean, you don't have to be smart, but wisdom will go miles above what you think you know in the now. So anyway, with all that being said, like I said, I want to get your thoughts and ideas on presidents. What do you think? Should they be in there 4 years, 2 years, 1 year, 10 years? Or do you think the voting system's fine? And, I didn't want to get too much into politics, but I sent, this is the first time I'm doing a podcast in a while, and it happened to fall on like the president is he leaving? I think Donald Trump is just, he's a nut. I'm not going to get too much into him. I mean, other than I think he's a schmuck, but that's just me. And, he may be good at what he does. I mean, he's a bullshit artist. He's good at it, don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing. But yeah, I wouldn't vote for Donald Trump. Actually, I've never voted in my life, and I'm proud of that. I will never vote. It's just, I don't believe in the government nowhere near to cast a vote, because I just think it won't matter. And I think this year was an outstanding year for people to get out there and vote. And that Trump's still trying to pull this shit. And the sweaty mayor, the guy who was leaking fuel from his face, what the hell was that? Ruley, what's his name? Giuliani? Yeah, I don't know. The dude who was leaking. Yeah, he was, I don't know. I think he's like either too old or he's taking some sort of pills, man. Or he's taking something. I don't know if they're pills. I don't know what he's taking. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he's, yeah, matter of fact, I am saying he is. He's fucking taking something. So anyway, it's about the 30-minute mark. We are going to go to the news. Go into the news now. So I'm actually going to go back and edit this so I can actually put some sounds in when I'm going to the news. So, like, you might hear a certain sound coming up like this, and then boom, a sound comes in. So, okay, let's get the news going right here. With Jimmy James Show, here's the news. Alright, guys, here we go. We're going to go with some recent trades in sports. I think this is going to be the NBA trade rumors on James Harden, Bradley Beal, and Zach LaVine. Plus Los Angeles Clippers trade options. This was on YouTube. Channel is Chat Sports. I am a subscriber to this. This is just NBA rumors. It was published on November 26th. What NBA team will take the biggest step in the wrong direction next season? What point guard could the Los Angeles Clippers trade for? Will James Harden get traded for the Houston Rockets before the 2021 NBA season begins? What should Memphis Grizzlies do to improve their chances of making it to the 2021 NBA Finals? And I would like to give you to the host, Jimmy Crowther. I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong. Jimmy Crowther. Jimmy Crowther. I couldn't really see the name. Jimmy Crowther. And here's a little bit about, what Jimmy Crowther thinks.
Too much sauce says, which NBA team has declined the most this offseason? Ooh, that's a fun question. We talked a lot about the teams that have making a step in the right direction. What about a step in the wrong direction? The team for me is probably the Oklahoma City Thunder. And not because they've made bad moves. Like, I think they have made the right moves in going out and getting more draft picks. The problem for the Thunder is that, you were a top 5, top 4 team in the Western Conference, and everybody's gone now. I can barely even name who was on this Thunder roster. And, that's not a knock at Sam Presti, because I think Sam Presti's done the smart thing in going out and getting these draft picks. But the fact that your starting 5 is going to look something like this next year, that's a huge step back from CP3.
Okay, and what he's saying here is that the potential 2021 Thunder lineup, this is their starting lineup for the OKC Thunder. And I'm big into basketball. I follow basketball. Just starting to get back into hockey. Football, I'll be getting back into even more. I'll probably have that on my next show. I'm probably going to start going more towards sports, just because, everybody's going to want a little bit of their sport dose. So their potential lineup is going to be Gilgeous G. Alexander. Oh, I'm sorry there. Was averaging 19.0 points per game. We also have coming in at Diallo. I know these names. And for some reason, when I'm looking at them, I'm like, Hamidou Diallo, who's averaging 6.9 points per game. You got Mike Muscala, which I always thought, he's a good center. I'd say he's a good second line center. And you also have Dort, which is 6.8 points per game. Muscala is 4.8 per game. You got Baisley at 5.6 per game. And all right, let's see what else he has to say about it. Let's get back into Jim Crothers.
Danilo Gallinari, Steven Adams, SGA. Now it's just SGA, Hamidou Diallo, Lou Dort, Mike Muscala, Darius Baisley, Alexei Pokusevski coming off the bench, Teo Maledon coming off the bench, Isaiah Roby potentially, Admiral Schofield. I mean, this Thunder team is really bad, but they want to be bad. They want to tank. Now, here's something that you guys should all know right now. Cade Cunningham is going to be the number 1 pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Cade Cunningham is a kid from Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma City really wants him on their team. So watch out for that as they tank for the number 1 pick. Now,
yeah, so, I watched the NBA draft. I would have to get to the, let me see here. Let me put this in. Okay. So now I'm with Philadelphia here. I'm a Philly fan. Obviously, I'm from Philadelphia. The Sixers are my team. Okay, I'm actually just reading this. So this is also reported by Jimmy Crowthers. Not get his name. Also, it is a YouTube channel, Chat Sports. This guy has over 223,000 subscribers. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. And this was also published on November 26, 2020. Will the Los Angeles Lakers repeat as NBA champions in the 2021 season? Could the Philadelphia 76ers make any more trades like they did for Danny Green and Seth Curry? Which I'm going to stop right there. Seth Curry, Danny Green, I was semi-ecstatic about. Ecstatic about. But when I heard Seth, I mean, we got a Curry brother. Anybody from Philly, I think it's huge. We need it. We need shooters. We needed shooters. Tobias Harris, he was kind of struggling. I give the guy props forever. I mean, he took some bad hits. He had a bad season, but he kept coming out. He kept shooting. He kept trying. Yeah, they got swept in the first round. It was a heartbreak. But with Ben Simmons out, I think a lot of people saw that they weren't going to get past the first round. That being said, I would also think that they would at least got 1 or 2 wins. So, with that being said, with like I said, trades for Danny Green, Seth Curry, will the Dallas Mavericks win the 2021 NBA champ? Win? Okay, I guess he's okay. Will the Dallas Mavericks win the 2021 NBA championship? Will the Toronto Raptors be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference next season? And last, should the Boston Celtics trade for Rudy Gobert? All right, here's a couple things. There's a lot more said here. First of all, Dallas Mavericks, no. They're not. They're going to be a top contender, but they're not going to win the championship. Just because, unless they get some kind of structure around Luka. Luka can't do. He could do a lot. I mean, he looks like a young LeBron James, but actually more mature. But at the same time, he's immature, and I don't want to down the guy. I want to see him play a couple more seasons. He's young. He's really young. I think he gets, his emotions get to him too much, and that, that's going to be chaos for teams that, or teammates that play with him. As far as getting back to what I was saying with Danny Green and Seth Curry, we got a Curry brother. A lot of people are like, yeah, but it's Seth. It's not Steph. It's not the best 3-point scorer in the league. It's not the Chief Curry. But I'm going to tell you something right now. I think Seth Curry, bottom line, is going to have the best opportunity to look as good as his brother. Not as great, but as good, meaning he has a chance to really, really have a great breakout season. That's just my prediction, okay? And believe it or not, I haven't talked about this before, but I'm actually pretty good with predictions. I don't know why. I should. I'm not a betting man in sports, but I should be. I literally guessed. I don't say I guessed. I knew they were going to trade Jimmy Butler, and I literally posted. And like 2 hours later, he got traded. I said they're probably going to trade. I don't remember what I said, but it's on one of the YouTube channels. Not with what was I going to say? Not with Jimmy Crothers with the chat sports. But like stuff like that, I'm just good with. Like I think, hey, they're probably going to go this route. I seen the Danny Green. I did not see Seth Curry. That's Steph Curry's brother, not Steph. We're getting Seth. Okay, yeah. He's not nowhere near as talented as his brother. But with this being said, with over 41 minutes into this podcast, I will say that he will get his best shooting percentage this year by far, because he is coming on a team with no shooting, and that is taking away. I'm not talking about Joe. I mean, he's a big JoJo. He's a big center. Tobias Harris could shoot. Mike Scott's he's a decent spot up shooter. He can get hot at times. They got rid of Zaire Smith, which I was fine with that. They were talking about getting rid of Matisse Thybulle, which I would have been I would have been like beside myself, because I think just like with Shamet, they should have never got rid of Shamet. Shamet was a shooter. Yeah, he didn't have defense. Not like Matisse Thybulle has, which we call him Clamp Thybulle. Actually, Mark Zumoff and company call him that, and it kind of stuck. But yeah, I'm going to say that with that, you're going to have Seth just knocking down, and he also can pass the ball. He can create his own shot. He can shoot off the dribble. He can shoot 35 feet from the arc. So right off the bat, we got a shooter. I'm kind of upset we didn't get JJ Redick back. I'm a big JJ Redick fan. I mean, I believe every team he's played for, they always went to the championship. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Last year he was with the Pelicans. I don't remember. I don't remember with the Pelicans. I could look it up on my pad next to me, but I'm not even going to. I like to keep it for real. So, not to get too much into the sports, I'm going to try to bring more sports in and probably do like a 5-10 minute segment on the sports, because I could talk basketball, hockey, all day, especially basketball. So if you're into basketball and you want me to talk a little bit more about that, and you're like, hey, this might be a good topic for you to stay on, then I'll do it. And I'll do more research. I didn't do any research coming into this. I literally just YouTube something, and I seen Jimmy Crothers. Jimmy Crothers. I don't know. Jimmy Crowther. I could be saying his name wrong. It's 'cause I have a small screen. I can only see his name. But his YouTube channel, once again, is Chat Sports. Yeah, so I want to know what you guys think. Who the top contenders are in the West. Give me 2 in the West. Give me 2 in the East. It doesn't have to be your hometown, okay? I don't think the Sixers are going to go more than... I would be shocked if they get past the second. Yeah, I'm going to say I would be shocked if they get past the second round. But not surprised, just shocked. But there's no way they're going to get, to the conference finals. It's not going to happen, not this year. Unless Ben Simmons has some sort of jump shot game this year that he's been working on. And also wanted to say it sucks for Golden State. I know they won 1 million championships. They're like, they have nothing. It's, what are they going to be upset about? But, Klay Thompson going down. I love to watch Klay and Steph, the Splash Brothers play. And I enjoy every time they get on the court, regardless if it's against the Sixers or not, And another thing I wanted to talk about, put a quick side note in there. What do you guys think about the COVID-19 virus or pandemic? I don't know, what do you call it? COVID-19. And what do you think they're going to do? Golden State, they're trying to get the 50% capacity. I don't know if anybody watched that interview, but the owner of the Warriors, which his name is slipping my mind. Oh, God, I can't believe it's slipping my mind. I'm just having one of those days, guys. But like I said, I wanted to do a podcast. This helps me out, it helps me out tremendously. And I don't mean financially. I mean, it helps me out get some of this off my chest. I can't talk to some of my buddies about this because it usually winds up in an argument, or it winds up into like, oh, no, and then it just gets so off course, and then, before we know, we're talking about, just bullshit that has nothing to do with what we started talking about. So, yeah, anybody I want to give a shout out to, if anybody hears this who plays NHL 21 with me, any NHL leagues, don't bust my balls too bad. I know I play a lot of hockey and I don't know a lot about the hockey, but I am getting back into it. I swear I will get educated. But when it comes to basketball, there's pretty much nothing I don't know, except probably the draft class. I know only a few. I did watch the NBA draft. But I did. There was nothing really I was excited about, honestly. There's a couple prospects in there that I'm looking forward to. I couldn't even tell you the name of the number 1 draft pick. I know it was the Minnesota. Oh God, was it Minnesota? Minnesota got the number 1. Minnesota, Atlanta. I think it was Minnesota. And I could look this up real quick on the side, but I'm not. Like I said, I like to keep it real and legit and live and raw. Also, on another side note, I'm quitting smoking coming this year. Talking about cigarettes. I just don't have an interest for them anymore. I don't have that urge to smoke cigarettes like I used to. And if you're wondering, like, all right, what did you do? Like, how did you quit? Did you patch, gum? Honestly, I am getting sick of just smoking cigarettes. It's just costing so much money. So what I was doing, instead of going out and spending over $10 a pack, I'm going to go back to buying the rolled up cigarettes. Now, there's 2 good things and 2 bad things about that. Well, one of the bad things is you're still smoking. The good thing is about it, you have to roll your own cigarettes and you don't smoke as much. The other bad thing about it is you're still smoking cigarettes. So, yeah, whatever. And then there's another good positive about it. It's a lot cheaper. I'm getting probably 2 cartons of cigarettes for like $22 when you're spending $22 to get 2 packs, which is ridiculous. I recommend anybody who's smoking and wants to stop smoking, start rolling your own cigarettes. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. You're going to get tired of rolling your own cigarettes, and you're not going to smoke as much because you're going to be like, fuck, I don't feel like rolling a cigarette. You know what? Fuck it. I'll just go to bed. I'll skip the cigarette tonight. I'll roll some tomorrow. Because usually when you roll them, you got to roll a whole bunch. I'm getting cut short on time here. I only got an hour. So we got about 10 minutes left. I wanted to do an hour show today because I haven't been on. And I wanted to be a little bit more for real with you guys today. Like I said, the topics were legacy. What do you think legacy is? Sorry if I'm not following up on anything. If I missed anything, I apologize. And I want to know what you guys want to hear. So I basically want to make a show out there for people who, like, let's say I got a guy who's listening right now, and he's like, all right, I don't know what this show's about. Is he talking about this? The show's about everything. But if you want me to talk about something specific, all you have to do is you can either go to my Spotify channel, you can go to my Anchor channel. I'm on multiple channels. You go there, you leave me a message. You can even hit me in an email, which is, once again, it's JIMOHARA 1982 at gmail or yahoo.com. And make sure you put in there subject The Jimmy James Show so I won't miss it. Okay? I'm going to try to probably get myself a new email that's just dedicated for this. And you can also send messages in from here, or you can send messages in from my Facebook, which is Jim O'Hara, which is also Jim O'Hara or James Patrick O'Hara III. You can't miss me, Philadelphia, PA. Went to school at Wildwood. I have nothing to hide from you guys, man. We're all in this pandemic together. I hope everybody out there is being safe. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. And I will try to get back on for another podcast within a week or less. Since I missed so much time, I might knock out another one of these within the next day or two. And I'm going to be more prepared. I kind of did this one on the fly just to let you know, hey, I'm still here. I'm not feeling 100%, so I didn't have time to really prepare. I just wanted to come on here and be raw. Just straight up raw. I try to throw a little bit of news in there. That's another thing. What do you want to hear with the news? Next time I might have a guest on, which would be my father. And the reason why I will have my father on is because he worked for the Phillies back in the late 80s and early 90s. Like Phillies won the pennant. And I wanted him to talk a little bit about stories that he had. And if anybody knows my father, he knows, first of all, he could tell you stories, okay? And we're talking about the Phillies, and not just the Phillies, all the sports team, like Mike Schmidt, Lenny Dykstra, John Kruk, all these guys. He introduced me to Mickey Morandini. I think I talked about this on a couple other of my episodes, which I really want to start getting back into. And I appreciate Anchor for sponsoring me. I'm looking, if anybody out there who would like to support me, as little as $1 a month. You don't have to. You honestly don't. I just said it will help me make this see how I keep it straight, like I'm not ending this out. Keep this podcast, and I want to make it better. I want to get more guests in here. I want to get guests that you guys might know. I might get some people who are into sports on here. I mean, it's a pandemic out there. People are bored. I will try to get people that are interesting. And I'm not talking about just my father, but I'm telling you, my father is an interesting character. Interested? He's an interesting character. There you go. Got the words together and everything. Oh, God. So I just got done back from Wawa. I grabbed myself some Wawa iced tea. I haven't really treated myself. I've been drinking a lot of water and eating a lot of salads. But today I treated myself to a little, like a little burrito, chicken and cheese burrito with the sweet cream. What the fuck was it? It was, it was, with the shit you put on, I don't know, you order from Wawa, it has the fucking cream, it's like, it comes in a wrap. I used to eat it when I used to get hungover back when I was young, and it was the best. Like, you go to the bar, and then you go and you order these things, and, like, I was like, I just treated myself, because I didn't eat really that much yesterday for Thanksgiving. I think I had a salad yesterday, and I was like, well, I guess this is my Thanksgiving meal. And once again, happy Thanksgiving out there to everybody. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. If you didn't, let me know. Let me know. Send a message in saying, this is what I did for my Thanksgiving. Like I said, I sat in, I played Xbox and ate a salad. Nothing exciting. I heard a lot of people were doing Zoom over Thanksgiving, which I wouldn't do if you'd paid me. So, like I said, once again, not to sponsor myself, but like I said, any help would be appreciated. I want to give a shout out to anybody who's followed me or supported me. So, guys, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, any feedback helps, and I really would like to say, please continue the support and help each other. Take care, love one another, and like always, get the fuck out of here. That's Jimmy James Show. Done for now. I will see you maybe tomorrow or Monday at the latest. Take care. Be safe. Out of here. Hey guys, one more thing before I cut off for the night. I just want to let you know that you will and you can share a voice message with me directly. I will get it. I will listen to it. If you have any questions, if you want to ask me something, or even if you want to tell me I'm wrong about something, hey, send it in. I am a open book. I'm a good listener. And, how was I just talking about? Listener. Oh, yeah, just, send me a message, All right there, guys. Yeah. So do that, and I'll hit you back. Right here from the Jimmy James Show. Take care, and have a good night.